Oh, he's paused. I think yeah, go ahead, Zakaria. Sorry.
The first thing I'd like to ask is, do you have any proof that you were all ex-Muslims?
Yeah, how do you, but listen.
Can I ask you some basic fundamentals about Islam?
No, Zakaria, wait a minute here. This is not an examination of something. Listen to me. I think this is very disrespectful when you come
up
in my house
ask you
and
to
you
prove
call
that you're a Muslim.
Listen,
Okay,
Zakaria.
no problem.
No. But listen to me. Listen to me.
I'm listening.
Yeah. Where? Let me. I don't know where you born. Yeah. For myself, I was born in Iraq.
Yes.
And I moved to Jordan, and I got schooled, in a regular school. And I left Islam when I was 15, around 15, 16 years of old. Right. So that is it. I don't understand. Like when I moved to Europe, there is no paper that states if you're a Muslim or not. This is number one. The second argument, if I want to tell you, a lot of Muslims themselves, they don't know much about their own religion. When I go on Arabic lives and I sit, because you know what? I tell you the truth, some things I still learn a lot of things about...
Sorry, let's have a discussion instead of like just one of us speaking.
No. Zakaria, this is my life. It is like that. Why Allah in Islam, why Allah in these Quran verses, he loves to swear so much? That is the subject of my life.
Okay, so
you can tell me your opinion about it. That is
sure. Yeah. So the first thing is, and I'll move on swiftly because I respect it is your live. We have not clarified if any of you were actually ex-Muslims, and the reason.
But Zakaria, let us say that I am Buddhist. Okay, I am Buddhist.
I'll let you speak.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. That does not answer my question. Please stick to the subject of this class. Please.
Let me speak a little bit. Just let me speak a little bit.
Go ahead.
There are certain fundamentals of Islam that you are not Muslim if you oppose them. So if you don't agree with them. And secondly is every Muslim knows basic things about Islam. But anyway, I respect you. I'm not gonna check up with any of you. The second thing is, if you experienced anything when you were younger that caused this hatred in you for Islam, then all I want you to say is you need to differentiate and think logically whether it was the Islamic religion or whether it was a cultural practice.
That's a good point. That's a good point, Zakaria. I respect you for that. I respect you very much for that. But what we're discussing here, me and Lamis, because we left Islam, when we open the Quran and we have verses in the Quran that tells you, for example, to cut the hands of the thief, or when you have verses like to cut the hands on the arms of...
Give me a second. I just need to go fetch a charger. Sorry to interrupt you. I'll be back.
Go ahead, Zakaria. Go ahead. All right. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Zakaria.
Okay, so I'm actually very glad you brought up the thing about the hand chopping. So, interesting enough, do you know who Umar, radiallahu anhu, may Allah be pleased with him, is?
Right, just very quickly, a great go-to verse is Quran 533. That is horrific torture. Thank you.
Guys,
533. Maida 33.
Let's stick to one thing at a time. Let's stick. You brought up the hand chopping, so let's go to that. Afterwards, I'll have no problem dealing with your other verses. No problem.
Go ahead. Give Zakaria a chance to speak, guys. Go ahead.
Do you know who Umar, radiallahu, may Allah be pleased with him, is?
Yeah. Go ahead. Yes.
Who is he?
But just Zakaria, now you're getting on my nerves now. Say your point. Don't sit and examine us. Say your point. If you don't want, want to answer, please. You're getting on my nerves now. Who is he? Who is Richard Dawkins? Who is Jordan Peterson? Answer me.
I know who they were.
Yeah, but who's Jordan Peterson? I can sit here. But no. Jordan Peterson is not a Muslim.
No.
Oh my God. Zakaria, you're getting on my nerves. Please stick to the subject of my life. Please.
Zakaria, listen to me. Okay, anybody can open go online on sunnah.com and read the verses. You can be an atheist, a Christian, a Jew, a Buddhist, anything. You do not have to be a scholar of Islam to open the verses and read them, first of all. Secondly, as an atheist, you are the Muslim, you are bringing the claim, the burden of proof is on you. You do not ask us to prove anything.
What claim am I bringing?
Do not have, you're the one who's a Muslim. You're claiming that this book was sent by God. We are asking you, why are there swear words?
Okay, perfect.
Why
Okay,
is he
perfect.
comparing humans to animals? Why is he disrespecting people and lowering himself down to the level of a measly human being? You either come and argue or you leave.
Okay, so okay, no problem. Okay, do you know? Okay, I won't ask you. So Umar, who was a companion of the Prophet, peace be upon him, who was appointed Khalifaship, the second Khalifa, right, to control the Muslim Ummah, the Muslim world. Now, yes, the rule does apply that if somebody is caught stealing, without exceptions, like they are not young, they have not stolen something insignificant, or they do not have a valid excuse, then the general rule is, amongst many other considerations that need to be met, then their hand will get chopped off. However, during a time of drought, Umar actually ruled that the people's hands who had stolen should not have been chopped off, due to the fact that it would have been not acceptable but understood that they would steal because it is a drought and they cannot provide food for their family. So I don't know what your problem with that is. Like,
that's Zakaria. You just said a great point. Do you know why? Because what happens to the people who already their hands have been chopped off?
who?
You already chopped their hands off.
Who?
They cannot grow their hands back.
No, so do you, okay, so you have a problem with somebody who is not poor, somebody who steals where he does not need to steal, it is not out of necessity, he does not need to feed himself nor his family, he is just stealing for the sake of it, and you have a problem with his hand being chopped off as a preventive.
Great. Can I tell you something? I'll tell you something. Great. But do you know there is, well, two things. Number one, there is a mental disease, what is called, we talked about it last time, guys. I remember. Kleptomania. It's a person who does not need to steal, but they have this mental illness. They need, like, I can take this pen. Like, I need this pen. I take it and I put it in my bag, or I can go. You know, these people sometimes are super rich.
Yes, it is. Okay. You know,
but my point here, Zakaria, my point here, it is not human. It is not civilized to chop people's hands off just because they committed a crime, because this person may regret it later, and you already has dismembered this human being and you chop their hands off.
No problem. So let me ask you this. Have you looked at the statistics in Saudi Arabia versus America and other Western civilizations?
Just because something works, it doesn't mean it's not barbaric and it's okay.
Okay, no problem.
I want to say something to Zakaria. I want to say one more thing.
Can I say one more thing?
Wait a minute. Let him speak his last. So, Zakaria, you said there is a statistics. Okay, is there something else you need to add before I take Somali?
Yes.
Please go ahead.
This is something I want to say is, if you look at the rape and murder cases, sorry for using that word because it's going to get blocked. It's going to get you blocked. But anyway, if you look at those things in Western civilizations like the United States and America, those acts, immoral acts that are so terrible, are almost non-existent. And this is factual. This is objective. That this is almost non-existent where Sharia law is applied.
Muslim women get raped by their husbands every day, and Islam allows it, and there are no statistics for that.
Let's deal with one thing at a time.
There are no statistics in the Muslim world. They don't even gather statistics. What are you talking about?
You bring in claims. Now I want you to justify these claims. You are saying Muslim women are being raped in their home every day. Please bring your evidence for that.
Islam says the angels will curse her if she says no to her husband. That is rape. Good. That's marital rape.
Okay, good.
But go ahead, Zakaria. Go ahead.
Let me respond to that. So I want to ask you, if I do not give my wife her monthly maintenance, does she have a right to come take it out of my pocket without my permission? Yes. That's because the man has certain rights upon her, and so does the woman have certain rights upon the man.
And I'm saying Islam gives the right to rape her when she doesn't want to.
No, I never said that.
Okay, guys.
I'm saying it
Wait.
just because she concedes to it because she's afraid that she will be cursed and the angels will curse her. It doesn't mean she was okay with it.
Okay,
It coerces her into allowing him to grape her.
let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. So if now the man doesn't provide his wife with her monthly maintenance, then it's her right. She does not need his permission.
But Zakaria, dear
To being
Zakaria.
raped and molested.
But Lamis, he's comparing cutting the hands of thieves and whipping 100 lashes women on the street to if he doesn't take my money.
It's for men as well. It's for men as well.
Okay.
You're saying women. It's for men as
All right.
well. Don't lie,
Zakaria,
come on,
all right.
don't lie, don't lie.
I get your point. Let's take from Somali. Go ahead, Somali.
Be sincere.
Yeah, he
All right,
made a point earlier.
Go ahead, Somali.
Okay.
One at a time, guys. One at a time. Somali, go ahead. Yes, go ahead.
He made a point earlier. He said that, yes, this cut off hand is ruling from God, but when the Khalifa saw that people, like, they were hungry and there was like drought or whatever, he said, let's not. So it took a human being, right, to out human and out mercy God and say, no, we shouldn't cut. Like, so God couldn't think about that.
Do you know what hadith
Wait,
is,
let me
sister?
finish.
Okay, go ahead.
Let me finish. Why didn't God say only the rich people that steal from the poor people's hand can be? Why did he not? Why did he say everybody? Even the hadith says even if you steal an egg, literally your hand will be cut off. How is that going to be working? How is that good for society if you cut every person's hand?
Okay, let Zakaria answer now. Go ahead, Zakaria.
A few things here. Do you know that Muslims, such a thing as Salah, which is an integral of our lives, which if you deny that Salah prayer for Muslims is compulsory upon you, then you are not a Muslim. So what I'm saying is, where do Muslims get Salah from? Not from, yes, we get it from Quran. However, we get the performance of it from Hadith. So
I'm saying, but why did it take a human to change what God said? God said, chop their hand, yeah?
You're not
But
listening,
humans
you're not
said,
listening.
had mercy and said, you know what, let's not do that. If they're hungry.
I heard what
That's
you
I'm
said.
saying. Comment
Don't
on
be
that,
emotional. Don't be emotional. Let me reply. Now look, if we taking that not from the Quran but from Hadith on how to perform Salah, that is how important Hadith is. In fact, there are some Hadith which have the same level as the Quran. So what I'm saying is, now you are not considering any of this about, there is certain circumstances where the strictness of the Sharia needs to be relaxed. And this is all from Hadith. And this was a prime example of when Umar he didn't change, but he allowed a leniency of the ruling in order to be merciful amongst the people, which Islam encourages.
So Allah is not merciful? Humans are merciful.
He is, because he said to the Prophet, he said in the Quran, in order to obey Allah, you need to listen to the Prophet, peace be upon him. And the Prophet, peace be upon him, told us this. And this is where they derived the ruling. They derived the ruling from the Prophet, peace be upon his speech.
Zakaria, can I ask you, okay, do you agree if someone forsaken his religion?
Okay, can I answer that first? So I am not sure on the ruling on that. I'm not sure on the ruling that, so I don't want to comment on it.
I am sure of it. It is already in the hadith. I mean, Al-Nawawi, the 40 hadith of Al-Nawawi is there. If you go to say Bukhari and Muslim, it is also there. It is not in the Quran though, but it is in the hadith. Do you agree on it? If you want, I can show you though.
No problem.
Zakaria, do you speak Arabic?
No, not really. I speak a little bit. Like I can read a little bit.
So you basically, there's an ayah about you. You're like the donkey that carries the book that they can't read. That's what it says in the Quran.
So I can read.
So basically, we know more about Islam.
Guys, one at a time. Guys, one at a time. Give Zakaria place to speak to. Guys, please give him turn to speak.
Yeah,
to.
go ahead.
Zakaria.
Talk about that.
You're just assuming things for me. I can't speak fluent Arabic. However, I can navigate some Arabic text. And regardless of that, I don't know what that has to do with anything.
Zakaria, I'm fluent in Arabic.
No, I'm definitely not fluent.
No, I'm fluent in Arabic. I was born in Lebanon. My parents are both Muslims. My siblings are all Muslims. We speak Arabic. I've read the Quran, and still the Muslims come on and say to me, you can't read Arabic, you don't know what you're
I
talking
never said that
about.
to you. I never said that to you
What I'm
once.
saying is that's what we get all the time. So
So
and
why
then we
telling me
talk
this?
to
I didn't
Muslim
say anything.
reverts or second generation Muslims who barely speak Arabic or barely read Arabic, and they
Let
tell
me
us
just
they
say.
don't
Let
understand
me
the
just.
verses.
Okay.
We have
Let
been
me-
on
Guys,
this live for weeks showing people that the translations are incorrect.
Yeah, but I can navigate certain Arabic, and what do you mean? Like the translations are incorrect? And the second thing I want to say is, look, you all. It sounds like you all come from the Middle East, right? And there are certain practices and cultural practices ingrained in like certain countries in the Middle East which are un-Islamic. So I can understand why you may have a certain to an extent, I can understand how you could have maybe
That's
gone
the
wrong. And
gaslighting we get from Muslims that try to convince us that some
No.
experience are cultural and they're not Islamic. The closer the country is to Islam, the more human rights
Okay, let's
they destroy. Look at
okay, go ahead, go ahead.
Afghanistan and look at Iran.
Yes. Okay, so let's discuss things like objectively. If somebody has a question or I have a question for you, let's ask and let the other person answer. So what is your guys' problem? Give me one thing and I'll answer it. And give me another one and I'll answer it.
Okay, can you answer my
Islam is against
my
human
question,
rights.
please?
One at a time. Wait, guys, because we need to organize.
I heard something.
We
No,
need
I
to
want to talk to
organize.
him.
Stop.
Can I talk to him? Can I talk to him,
Let me
please?
just answer.
Wait.
Somebody
Zakaria, say.
Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead, Zakaria, say.
I heard
Yeah.
somebody heckle something that Islam is against human rights. Let me ask you one question. Did women have the right to vote
Yes,
and have their
Khadija
own...
had the right. She had her own business. She had her
You're not
own
letting me
money, and
speak.
Muhammad
You're not letting me
used
speak.
her.
You're not letting me
Muhammad
Wait.
used Khadija and then convinced people that he gave
not
women
letting me
human
speak.
rights.
Guys, wait. This is, it's not working
Okay.
here.
Let me ask-
One at a time, please. One at a time.
Okay.
Zakaria, say what you want to say and put mute,
Yes,
please.
yes.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Did women in England have the rights to, and America have the right to vote and own their own property 200 years ago?
Okay. Thank you, Zakaria.
No,
Let
simple
me
question.
go
No,
ahead.
stop. Wait, I'm giving yes or no. Then I'll make a follow-up point. Yes or no?
But wait a minute. You want
Okay, stop.
Zakaria?
It happened in
who are
America
you?
before.
Let me
before
answer my
any
question.
Arab
Let me answer the
country.
question.
It happened in America and Europe first before any Arab
It didn't.
country.
Since women did
The
not have the
Arab
right.
didn't have. They
Let me
didn't give the
answer.
right to
Let me
women to
answer.
vote before America.
Let me
Zakaria,
answer.
You only got the right to drive a year ago
Zakaria,
in
Let me
Saudi. I
answer.
don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, and I have a problem with that. This
Zakaria.
I'll answer the driving thing. But let me first answer. Give me 30 seconds. The
Okay,
first
go
thing I
ahead.
want to say is women did not have the right to own their own money nor property since not even 200 years ago in America, in England. For 1400 years, Islam has given Muslim women her money is her money. The man cannot touch a cent of her money. The right to own property,
And
the
the
right
man's
to...
I
money is
told
not
you that
hers.
they had that already before.
Guys,
and
don't
Khadija had her
speak.
own
Wait.
money anyway.
The second thing I want to say is on the woman driving in Saudi, a lot of I don't want to say majority, but a lot of moderate Muslim scholars came out and spoke about that because that is not a practice, to the best of my knowledge, derived from Quran and the speech of the Prophet.
Thank you, Zakaria. Please put mute on now and let's answer him, okay? Because I want like, that we don't speak over each other. So put mute, so let them say their point. Yeah. And let them say their points, and then we come back to you, okay? Let's go to Lamis first, and we'll go around the table, okay? Go ahead, Lamis, please answer that if you want to say some comment. Zakaria, please put mute on so that they can say their points too. And we come back to you, I promise you. Go ahead, Lamis.
I just wanted to say that the idea that Islam came along and gave women their rights and their right to have property and have their money and all of that existed already. The ancient Egyptian women had their own businesses, had their own money. Khadija had her own money. He came along and used her money and her network and her family to get where he wanted, to get power and to get money. So I don't know where this idea came from, that Islam is the one that came and gave women money, power. It doesn't honor women in anything.
Okay.
Can I answer?
No, Zakaria, please put mute. I'll come back to you. I will do it around table, all right? Jade, go ahead. You want to say something?
The man's money in Islam is not the woman's money, and in Quran, Surah An-Nisa, or Surah 4, Ayah 5, it said clearly like that. Don't give the sufaha your money or the fools your money. And in tafsir, they tell you the women are the fools of all fools. And again, the men only give her for her shelter, for her clothing, for her food. But if she got sick, you guys, if she got sick, he's not eligible to, or he doesn't have to take her to doctor or pay for her medicine because he's not enjoying her anymore. And if she died, he doesn't have to bury her, but her family bury her, not him, because he's not enjoying her anymore. So as long as he enjoying her, he provide for her food, shelter, and clothing, and that's it. Nothing else.
Okay, wait a minute, Zakaria. Somali, you want to say something, or should we go to
guys,
Zakaria?
there's like a million.
Zakaria, wait. I'm going around the table, please. I'm going around the table. And then we're going to go to Free Thinker.
Okay.
Somali, you want to say something?
This guy literally said, Islam gave women human right. Literally, your husband can beat you, your husband can grape you. If you don't satisfy him, he can do whatever, he can return it, like she said. There is literally no protection for women in the Quran, because if a woman gets raped, they don't even have, there's not even a ruling for it. They don't know. So people just made up a rule that is the same punishment as zina. So they ask the girl.
You can't lie. Do you know what the punishment is? Wait, do you know what the punishment is for women who's been raped? Do you know who the punishment is for women who's been raped? Do you know what the punishment is?
They ask please go on mute.
But you can't lie. Okay, that's blatant lie.
Let her finish, and then you can answer. Please, Zakaria. Let her finish, and then you can answer.
When a woman gets raped, 4 men has to see her. Even if 1,000 women see her getting raped by that man, they cannot witness that her got raped. She has to produce 4 men. And on top of that, even if she did, they ask her like as if it's her fault. Oh, was the guy single or married? Who cares if somebody assaults you or rapes you if the guy is single? Why are they using the married and single? Because they consider it zina. They consider it sex. But meanwhile, you got raped. They go, and if the guy is single, they take a little stick like a ruler and they tap him 100 times and on his back. They literally tap him. That is the punishment for zina. What about the girl's pain and suffering? What about that? Isn't he supposed to get punished for that? No. It says he only gets punished for zina. Everything that he did to her. The only time he gets like ruled as somebody he get killed if he kills the girl after he rapes her. That is the only ruling. So for you to sit here, so women literally have the same right as a slave. Just like it says a slave, if he run away, his prayers will not be answered. If a woman disappoints her husband by any way and says no to him, her prayers will also not be answered. So basically, she's a slave. So I don't know what you want to say about that. Go ahead.
Well, there is a Quran verse in Khuftum and Nushuzahunna, what it's called, what it means that if you are scared of they don't listen to you, then you can beat them. Yeah. All right.
Not if she disobeys. Even if you are afraid of her being disobedient.
Afraid. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead, Zakaria. Go ahead.
Even before she got
Guys,
anything.
this is the problem. From the start, I said, ask me a question. Let's address. Now you're giving me a million things. You're just yelling out things. Ask me something and I'll answer it.
Okay. How about if a girl gets raped? Why do they have the same ruling as zina?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay. The first thing is the punishment for a man that rapes a woman is 100 lashes, and he has to pay her.
Don't say that. First of all, don't say that word. Say raped. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. For that act. So how can you just outright lie? Like that is ingenuine.
How can she prove that he raped her, Zakaria?
No, that's not true. He paid money. That's not true. He's lying. He pays money.
He gets 100 lashes.
No, that's not true.
He has to pay a certain amount of money.
That's lashes for destroying a human's life.
That's the first thing. And the second.
Go ahead, Zakaria. Go ahead. Let him speak.
Stop, guys. Stop. The first allegation was that nothing happens to a man if he rapes a woman. That's refuted. So I don't want to hear that again. The second thing, now bring your second argument, which was a man can beat his wife. Okay, here's this thing. What are the things which a man has to do? The first thing is he has to advise her, and this is if she commits outside the marital agreement certain acts which even a man may not commit. So if she commits these acts, the first thing he has to do is advise her. The second thing, if she still persists in the acts, then he has to separate beds. And if she still persists in these acts, which are grave acts, which even a man is not allowed to permit, then he's not allowed to beat her. The rulings on that, he cannot leave marks. He cannot cause any severe damage. He's not allowed to even leave. Some scholars even say he cannot even leave a red mark. It is
Zakaria, where did you read, darling Zakaria? Wait.
That was true.
I want to know.
Can I answer? You asked me where I read it.
Yeah.
Don't just yell.
Yeah.
Let me speak. I've read this. I'm actually studying at the moment, and I've read this in books that have been authorized by since not 1400, but since decades ago.
By people, not God. God said, "Udrubuhunna," beat
No, this
them.
is
Yeah.
Let me answer. You are slandering. You're just making up nonsense. This is in hadith. You're not allowed to
But
even.
Zakaria, there was a guy. Okay, Zakaria. Wait. There was a guy on Saudi TV. I don't know, guys, if you have seen that on YouTube or not. He had like a small, like a small pen or something, and he was on TV explaining to young men how to beat your wife if she doesn't listen to you.
Okay.
If you have seen that video,
Guys, to everybody who's watching
how to beat your wife.
Okay, no problem. Let me answer. To everybody who's watching this, I want you to notice one thing, and I'm probably going to kick after this. Look how she's bringing up Arab men on news shows, not Quran and not Sunnah, and not what the scholars are saying. For centuries, they have never ever permitted.
Let her speak. Go ahead.
They have never. Thank you for being genuine. I actually appreciate how you're letting me speak. Unlike this person who's being so rude and just interrupting me.
Go ahead.
For 1400 years, Hadith and the Quran and the consensus of scholars is that you are not even allowed to leave a bruise on the lady. It is a tap. It's like this. It's like if somebody is about to fall asleep and I give them a tap, like, look here, come to your senses. It has nothing. It's not a hitting. Scholars have agreed for centuries that. How many times you want me to say, guys? You can't even leave a bruise.
Form of coercive control.
Go ahead, Lamis. Okay, put mute Zakaria so that Lamis can answer, please. Go ahead, Lamis.
There's a hadith on the Prophet peace be upon him never ever hit any of his wives.
Okay. No, he actually did. But go ahead, Lamis. Go ahead.
It's a story about Aisha radiallahu anha which you manipulate.
Listen to
Lamis, go ahead. Please move to you.
I'll just say something really quickly, and then can we please let Free Thinker speak, because he's been waiting for a long time.
Can I add one thing? Can I add one thing for 10 seconds?
Go ahead, Zakaria, please.
So the thing on okay, I forgot what to say. That happens a lot. Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. First of all, it says if you fear her disobedience, Second of all,
you reminded me what I wanted to say. Can I just say? Okay, go ahead. But can I just say this? Sorry, I know it's being like bad interrupting. But the thing on so now what if my wife is in a society? Yes, men should not be rapists. We agree. Men should not be stealing things and robbing people. However, there's never going to be a society where these evils do not exist. So what if my wife is leaving her house late at night and I told her, look here, my dear wife, I advise you not to do this. It is dangerous. I know there shouldn't be men that are doing these things. However, we live in the normal world where this is unfortunately the case and will never ever be otherwise. So now if you keep leaving the house, something dangerous is going to happen to you. She persists. I just give a little tap, and after that, I cannot do anything.
Okay. So, thank you, Zakaria. Zakaria, please put mute because we need to give time for other people to speak. Lamis, go ahead, please. Free thinker, go ahead. Go ahead, Lamis.
If you fear their disobedience can be interpreted however you want. So you're interpreting it as, okay, she's going out late at night. Another man can interpret it as she didn't listen to me, or she disrespected me in front of my mum. I talk to her, she doesn't reply. She won't wash the dishes today, or anything like that. Second of all, it says udrubuhunna, and
it does. Sorry. The thing about
Zakaria.
It's my turn to speak.
Okay. No, please, Zakaria, because it's some. I don't want voices to be over each other. We need let Lamis and Free Thinker speak now. All right, go ahead, Lamis.
It says udrubuhunna. That's it, period, point blank. It says udrubuhunna. Again, can be interpreted however you want. Some people take hadith, some people don't take hadith. My point of view as a secular humanist is that coercive control, even if you don't touch her, if you are taking steps to scare her and make her obey you, that is wrong. It's still despicable behavior, and I don't accept it. Can we hear
Go
from
ahead.
Freethinker now?
Freethinker, go ahead, please. Freethinker. Sorry for. Let me just make your screen a little bit bigger. Wait. I just learned how to do that. Yes. Here you go. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much.